Have you ever looked at an industry and just thought to yourself, this whole thing seems broken? Well, today we're diving deep into one of those, the sales lead industry. It's a world just filled with structural problems. But more importantly, we're going to look at a new blueprint, one designed from the ground up to actually fix it. And this gets right to the heart of it. The sales lead industry is, well, it's notoriously fragile. You've got lead producers who aren't sure they'll get paid, and buyers on the other side dealing with huge compliance risks. So is this all just bad luck, or is there something much deeper going on here? As it turns out, these failures are not random at all. They are literally baked into the traditional business model. The system itself is practically a recipe for failure. Okay, I want you to picture a juggler. But instead of juggling 3 balls, the traditional operator is trying to keep 6 very different, very heavy balls in the air at once. They have to produce the leads, then sell them, negotiate the price, figure out all the complex compliance rules, manage quality, and on top of all that, chase down payments. I mean, come on, it's a completely impossible job.
And when you pile all of that authority and responsibility into one place, you get a really unstable system. It creates these unavoidable conflicts of interest, the temptation to maybe lower the quality just to get more volume out the door. It makes the entire operation incredibly fragile. And the second it tries to grow, the whole thing just tends to fall apart.
So, how in the world do you fix this? Well, this is where the company Top Class Leads, or TCL, had what you might call a structural epiphany. They had a complete shift in perspective on what the real problem actually was. And this right here, this is their foundational insight. Cost per lead businesses, or CPL, they don't fail because people are bad at their jobs. They fail because the key functions, making the leads, selling them, following the rules, and getting paid, are all structurally misaligned. This means that even the best operators out there are basically set up to fail. It's not about working hard.
Exactly. You could have the most talented team on the planet, but if they're playing in a broken system, they're going to lose. The chaos isn't coming from the people. It's coming from the structure they're forced to operate in.
Now, recognizing the problem is one thing, but designing a solution is something else entirely. So let's take a look at TCL's blueprint and see how they decided to rebuild this entire system from the ground up. So this is the engine of the new model, and it's all built on a really clear separation of duties. On one side, you have the franchisees. Their job is pure execution. We're talking about hiring and managing their teams, running the call centers, and delivering high-quality volume. On the other side, you have the central TCL platform. Their job is all about governance. They handle the buyer relationships, the pricing, enforcing compliance, quality assurance, and, maybe most importantly, collecting all the revenue. And the logic here is just so powerful, right? You let the operations experts focus on, well, operations. The central platform, which has that bird's eye view of everything, handles all the complex risks that come with compliance, pricing, and payments. Everybody gets to play to their own strengths. Now, to prove this model could actually work, they started with a very specific market, final expense insurance. It's a type of life insurance meant to cover funeral costs. So why there? Well, it's a market that rewards exactly what this system creates, discipline and quality you can actually audit. The study demand and super strict rules made it the perfect testing ground. Okay, let's be super clear about what this model is and what it isn't, because it's really easy to get it confused. TCL is a governed production platform. It's a compliance-first franchise, and it's a centralized intermediary for all the revenue. What it is not is a traditional outsourcer. It's not some chaotic lead brokerage marketplace, and it's definitely not a passive investment. This is for active, hands-on operators. So, we've seen the problem and we've walked through the blueprint for the solution. But the real test is always growth, isn't it? This model isn't just different, it's actually built to last because it was designed for scale from day one. And this brings us to the economic heart of the entire model. You see, most franchises make their money on huge upfront fees. TCL's philosophy is the complete opposite. They monetize performance. And here's what that looks like in practice. The franchise entry fee, $0. TCL only makes money when a franchisee produces a compliant lead and the buyer actually pays for it. This perfectly aligns everyone's incentives. Everybody wins together, or nobody wins at all. This might just be the most brilliant part of the whole thing. The central platform absorbs all the risks an individual operator can't possibly control, like a buyer who doesn't pay or a sudden change in regulations. The
The franchisee is only held accountable for the one thing they can control, their own day-to-day operational quality. This is what you call intelligent risk allocation. So the contrast here is just stark. In the old system, growth just makes the chaos worse. But in the TCL model, governance comes first, and that allows for stable, predictable growth. The system is actually designed to handle scale.
We have covered a lot of ground, from the core conflict all the way to this new two-layer blueprint. So let's wrap this all up with the final takeaway. So here it is in a nutshell. TCL is a compliance-first franchise platform. It fixes the industry's structural failure by completely separating production from selling. This lets franchisees master execution while TCL centralizes the risk. The whole thing is driven by performance, not big entry fees. And all of this creates a system where governance allows for strong, stable growth. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. For years, people in this industry have just been told to try harder. But maybe the real solution isn't about more effort inside a system that's designed to fail. Maybe it's about having the courage to stop, step back, and start building a smarter system from the very beginning.